Hey guys, welcome to Make It with Mod Podge. My name is Cathie and today we've got a really sweet treat in store for you. We're going to be making this cool candy dispenser that's shaped like a bubblegum machine using clay pots and napkins and some items from the dollar store. You ready to make this, Steve?
Thank you, Cathie, so much for that introduction. And yes, today's going to be a fun day because we are making a clay pot bubblegum machine right here. But instead of bubblegums today, we put in chocolate for the holiday that's coming up. And these are super easy to make, really fun and super trendy. Let's get right into this. First thing I want to tell you guys is this is all dollar store bought. So everything that I got is from the dollar store. Quick tip, you want to make sure when you're making your bubblegum machine that all your proportions they match up. Meaning, you want whatever size clay pot you're gonna purchase, which is this right down here, is proportionate with your glass vase and your saucer on top, and of course, your topper. So they have bigger pots with bigger vases. You can make a bigger one, or you can even go smaller if you like. Just make sure it's kind of proportionate so it looks something like this. First step, really quickly, like I said, we got all of our items at the dollar store, and the next thing that we did is to prime your clay pot. Now, of course, we are priming with our Folk Art Home Decor chalk. We love this as a primer, and the reason why we prime our pot is because whatever napkin you're gonna use is gonna lay on top of this, and what this does is it allows the color print to pop through. These corals and blues pop through beautifully. If we did not prime that, the coral and even the green would kind of disappear into that terracotta color. So that's why we prime our pots first. Okay, so after you prime it, you're gonna choose the napkin of your choice. Like I said, spring is springing, and we chose this beautiful napkin with the corals and the blues. And you're gonna wanna separate your napkin out. So again, napkin projects, they always have a 2-ply or a 3-ply, and you're just going to gently, carefully separate that out. And we're only gonna be using the decorative side to this napkin. I'm moving slow because I don't wanna rip it. And just slowly separate that out. There are so many really cool spring napkins out. They're out at the stores and at your craft stores right now. So take a look. There we go. And you can see there is a dull side and there is the bright decorative side. So I'm gonna be using, of course, the decorative side on top of my clay pot, my primed clay pot. But the first thing I wanna do is flip it over. And what you're gonna do is I'm gonna use one napkin for this entire clay pot. And you're gonna wanna position this. And I like to do this before I do any type of Mod Podging. You're gonna wanna position this. Remember, this is the bottom, which is gonna go this way, and this is the top where the glass, your vase dome is gonna go right on top of that. So I like to make sure and play around with it for a minute, just to make sure you're gonna be in a nice position where you're gonna have some excess here at the top, like so. And this part I'm going to cut off because that's gonna be working my back area that I'm going to fill in with. So you're just gonna kind of get it into a nice position and get a feel for it like that. So this is going to work out perfectly right here. So this whole back area is gonna be this section right here. So I'm gonna give that a cut right now. My scissors, and I'm just gonna cut that off. Now I definitely wanna go about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch right above, because we want this just to kind of come right on over and cover that lip. Even though it goes on the bottom, you wanna make sure that you're going to cover that lip, and this extra right here is going to fill in that whole area that I just showed you. Okay, and I'm gonna set this aside, not too far, because I'm gonna be using that. And there we have it. There is the piece that I'm gonna be using. So the first thing I wanna do is I wanna add Mod Podge. I'm gonna be using the matte Mod Podge over my entire primed clay pot. And I'm just gonna go all the way around and get that Mod Podge on there. A nice thin layer is great. Remember, the napkins are really thin, so you want to be very careful with it and work slowly. And you don't need too much Mod Podge on this because it attaches very quickly and easily. And you don't want big, too much of the Mod Podge, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit oversaturated. And just make sure you hit all areas. You can see how fast that works. Easy to apply. I like using a flat brush head like this one right here. And I'm just applying my first coat on right now. Then I'm going to go over it and smooth everything out. There we go. Now I'm going to go over it a second time and just smooth it all out. There we go. Now these are super trendy right now, these bubblegum machines. Really fun to make. Again, I got everything here at the dollar store. Very cheap. You can fill these with anything. Right now we're just filling them up with chocolate eggs for the holiday coming up. But you can use them for bubblegum. You can put bubblegum in it. You can put all sorts of candies in it. These are fun for the office. These are fun for the classrooms. Of course, just in your house, in the kitchen. All sorts of places. Okay, so there we go. There we have it. I have that completely covered. And now I'm gonna drop this down. Oh, first, really quickly, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I forgot to show you guys this. I'm gonna spritz this with water, just a very, very light mist. And what this is gonna do, it's going to eliminate some of those wrinkles. So you can see that water going down, and that's enough. Now that, you don't wanna oversaturate that either, because your napkin, you don't want it to disintegrate. Just a quick little mist, and then I'm gonna drop my pot right on top like that, and then gently pick it up, and then pick up this side. Very, very carefully. Okay, now this is a game you're gonna have to play by twisting and turning, and then with my brush, I'm just gonna press that in. And you can see how gentle I'm working with this. I'm going all the way around, working very slowly, and I want to get into those creases. And just tapping that down and having that napkin attach right on to my clay pot that I put matte Mod Podge on. Work down this way and really get into those creases. I'm gonna go over this 3 or 4 times very slowly and add with my brush just a very gentle, moving some of those wrinkles out. Now of course you're not gonna get every single wrinkle out. That's impossible, but you can definitely work it to where the air bubbles and your wrinkles are gonna get nice and smooth on that pot. I'm gonna give this a quick cut right here. If you have any excess, don't be afraid to just cut that off like that. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this Mod Podge, our matte Mod Podge, right on the bottom. And I'm gonna gently fold that over like that. And take your time with it. Again, so many great napkins out there right now. This is actually the only thing that's not from the dollar store, is our napkin. Because we have a drawer full of napkins. So we kind of thumbed through that and picked one out. Okay. There we go. It's looking pretty nice. Then I'm gonna work on the top a little bit right here. I wanna fold that over. So right here on the top, I'm just gonna add a little bit more Mod Podge to this little lip right here. And Gently fold that over. A little more Mod Podge right on top there. And remember guys, this is the bottom of the bubblegum machine, but you definitely don't want, you want the napkin to absolutely come over this edge so you get a nice clean edge all the way around. You can see right here at the bottom how it looks nice and clean and finished. That's what you're going for. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we have a nice clean edge there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit more Mod Podge right here in the area where we're gonna add that extra piece. Now you might need to, again, I'm working on wax paper, guys, so it's, you can put your project down while it's still a little bit wet. You're okay, wax paper is our best friend. And you're gonna want to kind of shimmy this a little bit and find where it's gonna fit. And you can see you don't want too much excess, so I know that this area I'm gonna cut some of that off. You want as little overlap as possible. So this is looking pretty good. I'm gonna put that down. Right here, I got this nice clean edge there. And then I have a little bit more overlap right here that I can see. So again, you're just gonna work slow and get a nice edge on that. And then right here at top, I'm gonna cut that. And then again, I'm gonna add a little bit more Mod Podge here on the bottom. So I'm gonna flip that over. Lay that down. A little more Mod Podge, and then we're gonna seal it down. Now remember, this is the back of your pot, so there'll always be a little bit of a overlap somewhere. It's a pretty good disguise right there. And that'll be at the back of your gumball machine. So just the least amount of overlap as possible is best. And we're just gonna finish this out. And again, remember, if you feel that it's a little bit too dry, just add more Mod Podge. Sometimes these terracotta pots, even with the folk art home decor chalk primer, it really sucks up that Mod Podge. Okay, there we have it. It's looking very nice. And there is the base to our bubblegum machine, which will go this way. Now let's set that aside and let that dry. And let me show you right here on this saucer here that we have already primed. We did the exact same technique with another napkin right on top of that. Come on over here, I'm gonna show you. Here is the saucer. We did the same thing. We primed it, we added the Mod Podge, we draped the napkin right on over there and slowly worked in all these grooves to give it this fine look. Then we also found this topper at the dollar store. We hot glued that on top of the saucer to make a lid. Now, really quickly, this glass vase that we got, we used glass glue to attach it to our bottom vase and let that dry. And once those are all put together, you can fill these gumball machines up with anything you want. Take a look. Here we go, we have our chocolate in here. You can put gumballs in there, you can put hard candy, wrapped candy, whatever you feel. Now, using the napkins and our Mod Podge, I'm gonna show you another product, which is our amazing outdoor Mod Podge, which is right here. So this has a cure time of 4 weeks after you finish using it. So you get to enjoy it indoors, and then of course it can go straight outdoors, and it holds up in all the elements. We did this one right here This is ready to be put outside, and it's the exact same concept as what I just showed you, the same technique using this napkin here. Look at how pretty that is. It's just a great way to take an inexpensive terracotta vase and add a decorative element to it like a napkin, because the napkins are so pretty out there that you can actually create a big garden with napkins, outdoor Mod Podge, and of course, don't forget about your gumball machine. They're a lot of fun to make, very easy, and fill them up with your favorite candies. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time, next Thursday, with another episode of Make It with Mod Podge. Cathie has something fun in store, and don't forget to hashtag Plaid Crafts and Mod Podge, and we'll see you next time. See ya!